Sure, I see we have a question in the chat. Feel free to come off mute and ask.
So I had a question. One thing that I'm, well, how do I put this? Well, first I want to say, like I said, I've been knowing Kiki for a while in the TFA pop up and everything, and being able to network with people and meeting new people and everything like that. When I first met Kiki, I wasn't really an artist. I was just, before I met her, I was already like assisting with event planning and just doing events in my community. But I did art at home, like as my outlet, as my therapy and stuff like that. So coming into the TFA community, that inspired me to keep going with my art, because just seeing the great artists that were there and just seeing their personalities and everything would made me feel like I can do this too. So like I said, meeting all these people, I've had people ask me like, Zuli, you seem to know all the right people. You seem to be in the right places at the right time. Like, why are you not bigger than where you are right now? Like what are you doing that's not, that's holding you back, or whatever the case may be? And honestly, I think I still may be struggling with the answer to that. I'm not sure. I try to work on my art as much as possible, but still keeping it genuine at the same time. Because one thing that I like to remind myself is, this is something that you're truly passionate about and that you love. And it's not always about the money, but I would love to make money selling my art as well. Um, so yeah, I get that. I get asked that a lot, and it really gets to me sometimes, because like, I do know people, and I do have connections. I mean, before I can say that I was scared, just because of the way that I was brought up. I would be scared to uh, ask for help, or just admit that I need the help. Period. But I think I've become more comfortable with asking. But my question is, one, does anyone else feel the same way? And do you have any advice for me, um, to help me kind of like find a direction, or like how do you start like creating your own journey?
Say do it scared. You
Do
have
it
to.
scared.
Yeah, do it scared, because 9 times out of 10, that's why we never start, because we're too afraid to start. But if you just say, I'm gonna just lay all my cards on the table, whatever those cards may be, I'm gonna go for it, then, that fear of doing turns into excitement of doing. And in that excitement, you begin to create things that you didn't know were lying within. So that's something that I've found has like helped me, just doing it, even though I have sometimes the negative voices are our own. So saying, be quiet, I've got this. I wouldn't be in the positions that I am, or how you said, I'm in the right places at the right time, knowing the right people. You wouldn't be in those situations if you weren't built for this. So just do it scared, and just watch, like, as you continue to create and make art, because you are art, it's within you. So just watch what you create. And, as you do it scared, more opportunities will start flowing in your lap. So I just say do it scared.
It's funny that you say that also. I feel like that's a confirmation on my end. I recently watched a video from Les Brown. I don't know if you guys know of him, but I think he's like a motivational speaker, and he has a video called "Control Your Emotions," and he said the exact same thing: just do it scared.
Hey, well, I guess that's confirmation for you. hearing it more than once.
Yeah. And I actually recently just I did that literally just this past Friday, or yeah, on the 11th. I have a friend that she does events every month or so on the 11th, and it's called Higher Frequency. Usually I help her just set up or find vendors or stuff like that. But this time, this was my second time being there, like vending. Well, this time I didn't vend. The first time I did. This time I hit her up. I was like, look, I have this series that I'm working on. I have 3 of them done out of the 5. I just want to display my art and see how people react to it and everything. And it was really, it was amazing. So I think I did that. I took that first step in doing it scared. And um, the feedback that I got was, it was just too amazing. It was too incredible. So it made me want to reach out to Kiki. Honestly, today I felt very overwhelmed with my emotions. Just because, you know, when you're doing all these things and you're being in the right places at the right time and you feel like nothing is following through for you, you know what I mean? You start to kind of question, you know, am I missing something? Am I not doing something? Am I not understanding something? So I wanted, that's why I also love that Kiki shared the link for this, because this is exactly what I needed to hear also. So thank you.
I would say to you this. I knew that this is what would be good for you to listen to this. But also, the first thing that jumps out to me is not anything more than the question. Like, my first thing is, who is asking you this? Who is talking to you like this?
Other artists.
Other artists? And are they artists that you admire?
Um, One of them, yeah. Another one, the other one was someone I recently met, and when we were having a conversation, it turned out that we had a lot of mutuals. And he like, well, and he's successful in his own way. So he thought it was confusing that, you know, like, you know, all these people, you know, why aren't you in the, like, why aren't you kind of on the same level as them, or, you know, stuff like that.
That's like a weird question.
Yeah, I thought that was weird too. Um,
Like that, my thing is this. Like, first of all, that's a weird question. I would have to know more about who these people are to be asking that question, but it really doesn't matter because it's still kind of like a whack question. And I um sort of would start my inquiry not with what's wrong with me, but what's wrong with you that you asked such a question. Like, you are seeing, it's like he's comparing you, which is weird. You know, like, we compare ourselves enough to people. We don't need other people comparing us. And we don't know, like, you don't know, he has no, I don't know how well the situation is, but I just feel like if that were me and someone asked me that, I would be like taking it as a more of a reflection of them, because I will always tell, like, my father, for example, who could, let's just say someone that doesn't understand why you're doing something, or why you're, what they think is demonstrating what success looks like to them, based on what I don't know. Okay, so I would say that I'm on God's time. I'm not on your time. I'm on God's time. I'm not on someone else's time. So we lost her on accident. But I will say that anyway, period. Like, I that that's I just think that we have to kind of wrap our minds around that fact that you're on your own time and your own journey in life, not other people's. So if someone is making you feel uncomfortable about where you are, I wouldn't, you're right where you're supposed to be. So they're just giving you some more information about them and how you need to use it, and, you know, be vigilant about who you have around you. Because just because there are other artists, a lot of times they're reflecting on their own, you know, sort of assessments of what you may have they don't want. So it sounds like you have something they want, you know? Sounds like you have something about you that these people want. So I would be really skeptical about just not, I would take these type of questions with a grain of salt, because you're super young and you continue to rack up experiences and relationships and people that care about you and want to see you in situations. So that's, yeah, I would not take that to heart too deeply. Yeah. Part of the work, the farther along I go, the more I know that part of the work is on me. It's the work of my mind, the work of, you know, no one's gonna, I say I kick my own butt every day. I have to kick my own butt every day. I have to be my own boss, my own motivator, my own, you know, whatever it takes to get me to, you know, move or not move, and be still. So knowing when to move and knowing when to be still, like all of these things, it takes a lot of time to train your mind to be able to deal with the moods and energies of other people and yet still get things physically done. It's not easy, but no one told you that you can make a living and be successful doing something you love, and it has to be easy too. That's kind of asking for one too many things. So grow up about that. Just trying to say. I get to love what I do, and I get to do it and make some living out of it. And guess what? It's hard. So that's the trade-off. Sometimes it's hard, but sometimes it's not. And sometimes in the hard part, you can get other people to do it with you, and it's not as hard and it's more fun. So that's how I look at it. It's hard, but we're doing it together, and therefore it becomes less hard and more fun. And Zuli knows about that. That's every time we put the gallery up, every time we break it down. It's hard, but it's fun at the same time. And we make it fun. And that's yet another kind of what's going on in our gallery and what's going on next door in that white sterile square where you can't touch or talk or raise your voice. Like what's going on in ours and what's going on there. All you have to do is just compare, you know, and contrast, and you'll find yourself where you want to be with who you want to be with, and always be led by that. That's the thing. Just always be led by that, and never be afraid to tell someone that you know you don't like what they have to say, or speak your mind, and you know, with like due respect to people, like listen, care, take the feedback, but if your gut feels things are weird, it's okay. You should just follow that and be respectfully moved to the next situation. That's it.